All right. We are back at it. Doing work on our human male model here. I am currently actually by myself for the moment, so I get to be a little bit louder than I have been in the past and don't have to worry about waking babies up. Oh no, I completely forgot that these guys changed. Let me see if I can change the data. Oh, I also have to do this for our reference images. By the way, for folks who are watching, if you ever get this pink sort of issue with your images, what's probably going on is that I am still in edit mode. The path to your image is probably wrong, and so it's causing a issue with the path to the image. So you just have to give it the right path again, and then it should fix it. So I renamed this from low poly front to low poly male front because I'm actually working on the female version as well. So that is the reason why we're seeing that. We're gonna do low poly male side, and for this one we are going to do. Oops, didn't actually hit it. Cancel. This one is going to be low poly male back. Browse image. Cool. All right. I feel like this guy's looking pretty good. But let's see what else we've got going on here. I feel like looking at this, the legs are a little like these guys. I think could probably go out and up a little bit. Grab. Right. Let's see. Let me also turn on. You are actually just supposed to be, I think, like way over here. Boop. Do you feel kind of bad that I'm kind of just like copying this low poly mesh, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Okay. Let me go this way. You know what? Actually, I think that's probably fine. Actually, it's not actually. I don't think that's at 0, but I'm gonna do scale 0. Scale Z 0. I'm gonna grab. Bring this guy up. We are going to bring scale Z 0. G Z. Actually, I'm not even doing Z. View right there. Okay. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab these guys and go back here. And these are actually going to be the ones that kind of go over here. This guy. So if we actually look at this, we have a block, or not block, but like kind of like a cube with. Oops, wrong key. We have like a cube with. What do you call it? Openings on either side. So we want to scale Z0 here. We want to try and move this guy up so that this guy is kind of more in line with this one up on top. And then we're going to do a loop cut here. The reason why this low poly model has these triangles here is when you're doing animation and you're compressing the mesh. Basically, it avoids funky looking models when you're doing animation. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Let me see if I can rotate this a little bit. G. Put this guy up here. Scale X. I feel like that's actually looking pretty good. This guy is a little wide. So are you. And actually, let me scale Z here. Bring this guy up. We're gonna rotate a little bit, and this guy actually. You know what? I'm gonna dissolve these edges. The reason why is because I actually kind of already moved these guys down. These vertices here. It's kind of probably hard to see, but I moved these vertices down, so they're kind of already in this this like position here. Scale Z0. I'm gonna rotate this, and then we're gonna go to the side here. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, what is going on there? G. Oh, you know what? I was actually moving some of the wrong vertices here. Where are you? Make sure I get these guys. Oh, these are just like random verts. I can probably just dissolve these vertices. Oh, nope. Dissolve edges. There we go. Okay. And now we have, although the positioning of this is a little bit wonky, we now have basically like the amount of verts that I was looking for. Again, one of the things that I try to do when I'm doing low poly modeling is I try to work with a lower amount of verts, because again, once you start getting like more and more vertices inside of your model, it kind of becomes a little bit hard to figure out what in the heck is going on. Which, speaking of what in the heck is going on here, what in the heck is going on here? Let me do a join there. Although that's not entirely what I want. You know what? Let me actually undo that. Let me do a knife. So basically what's going on here is we have, it's not a quad. We have more vertices than we should have. So what I want to do is I'm actually going to take a knife and we are going to cut it up, cut it up. And I guess we'll have a triangle back here, but that's fine for right now. So this guy is fine. We have a triangle here, which is like not amazing, but it's not the end of the world. But right now you'll notice that we have some weirdness going on here. I'm going to try to see if I can connect this guy. Now it looks a little bit better. We have a little bit more like we have some more connections here. I'm also going to see if I can actually drag this guy out a little bit. GY. And I'm going to drag you probably back in. Or should I? I mean, that's definitely farther out than it should be. GY. But it's actually not as far out as I was expecting. This guy is like way out of whack. If I can grab him. Why did it just grab all of that? Whoa, what is going on here? I don't know what, okay. I don't know what was going on there. It looks like the shift key was like selected for some reason. Okay. Let's see. Looking fairly good. I'm actually gonna move this guy back. I feel like I probably just say like, looks fairly good. Way too much while I'm on stream. Let's look at the front. So again, if I go to the side view, I actually want to rotate this guy back a little bit. I think this is kind of what they have on the model. Go front, go up, and then I'm going to try to do, let me see if I can rotate this guy out a little bit like that. Hey, look at that, right? It kind of looks a little bit more close to what we have here. This guy is definitely weird. I'm going to see if I can scale X0. And you know what? Scale Z0 too. I don't want to have Y scaled to 0 because then they would all be in the exact same position. We're going to rotate up here. I think that's correct. Yeah, because here's the cut going across. And now I'm going to rotate this out a little bit. Let's go back. Let's go back over here. Let me see if I can rotate this guy down a little bit. Move down. You can see that they actually have a 5-pointed star here. Again, if you remember what I said about 5-pointed stars, if you're doing like a edge select, basically when it hits a 5-pointed star, or I think sometimes even a 3-pointed star, your edge select will stop. So in doing that, you can basically allow for like better edge flow, and it also helps with like animations and all that. this is kind of weird because it's kind of like going in. And also, if you look at here, there is no, like, you can't see an inner seam. So I think this guy is actually supposed to be in further, and then this guy might actually move out. So let's do that. Back to 1. G is X. Put this guy there. And then if we go back, let me actually turn off my model real quick. It actually looks like there's less vertices than I was expecting. One of the things I could also do is I could kind of just scrap the work that we've been doing with the skin modifier, but I feel like we've been doing a lot of work with that. You can actually just start working with planes. That's, I feel like, how Brain Graft works, which, again, if you haven't checked out his stuff, he's amazing. You should definitely check him out. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can continue on and just get something working here. So let me move this guy back a bit. So my model might not be exactly the same as what we're working off of the... definitely want to make it sure it doesn't look super janky, though. But yeah, my model might look a little bit different than the sample that I'm working off of, and I think I just kind of have to be okay with that. X, put that in a little bit. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to round it out a little bit. I'm just trying to make sure that I have some like the same edge flow as this model does, because again, I think there's probably some good best practices that are being done here, hopefully. I'm also just noticing like the hand is way out of whack with this guy. All right, that's fine. I'm actually going to turn my references off now and see if I can just start cranking away here and not be confined to what we have with the reference image. Let me move this guy so he's a little bit more in line. Always good to move around your model, make sure it is looking the way that you want it to. I feel like right now this looks kind of bizarre, so I'm actually going to bring my references back here, because I feel like, yeah, look at this. Like we have like a straight leg. That's not great. We want to actually follow some kind of natural curvature. So let me grab all these vertices so I can kind of see what I'm doing here. And again, we're going to rotate this up, grab it and go a little bit forward. And then this guy, we're going to rotate up a little bit. Grab Y, bring this back a little bit. And I'm also going to see if I can bring some of these guys back a little bit as well. GY. See if I can bring you back. GY. And that at least should hopefully look a little bit better. See. All right, let's turn the reference off again, see what we got. Not the worst, but I feel like there's still something going on there that I don't really care for. You know what? Let's also get some music going up in here. Hopefully people didn't see my interview request there. Listening to... You guys haven't heard him before. Actually, let me put my headphones on too. Do I also have it set up to stream audio? I don't know if I do. I'm going to be listening to Witchbolt, which if you guys haven't heard his stuff before, it's awesome. You definitely should. He just basically does like fantasy ambient music, which is kind of nice when you're just trying to get in the zone. When I'm trying to stay heads down, I don't really listen to like lo-fi beats or something along those lines. Yeah. Oh, we do have desktop audio. Okay, perfect. Let's see how this works. I'm actually just going to go to here. I'll also show his. So I use YouTube Music, but I'm going to be going to his album, hopefully, if I can. let's see here. Go to album. I feel like Howl is a really great album from this guy. Okay, let me make sure this is actually working the way I expect it to. Oh yeah, we're getting on it. Perfect. Hopefully my mic is a little better. I'm actually gonna see if I can turn the volume down here. Actually don't know. Can I actually... Sorry, I'm trying to figure out my streaming software. Oh, that's mute. Okay. Hopefully the volume is good. I feel like actually it looks like the volume in comparison to my voice on what is this, OBS, is a little bit more, so I'm going to try and turn this down a little bit. That should just be kind of like soft music, hopefully. All right, let's get back into it. So, one way for me to cheat on this is to basically, I could kind of just take these guys. Oops, I can take these guys. There we go. And I could use loop tools to make this a circle, but actually that doesn't look too terrible. I was gonna say sometimes when you do loop tools and you try to make things circles, you get some really interesting looking results. I'm just gonna scale this on the x-axis just a little bit, but that actually turned out a little bit better than I was expecting, to be honest with you. I might try that again here and see what we get. Loop tools, circle. Not terrible. I might also just rotate this a little bit. Let me see it this way. If I do rotate Y, no, rotate Y. Okay. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. We're gonna do some circles. Okay, let's see how that looks. So basically this is going to become our knee. I'm going to see about moving this a little bit more center. So GG, oh no, it's scaling it. Why is it scaling it? Can I just GX? And maybe move this guy up a little bit more. Man, I feel like that actually worked out pretty well this time. Also wondering when my wife's gonna come home, so when she comes home I might be stopping the stream, but we're getting a little work done while the wee one's out. I do feel like this guy is a little bit larger than I would like, so I'm gonna scale that a little bit. Not bad though. I don't know if I like this 4-pointed or 5-pointed star there. If I go back to my reference image, you'll notice there isn't a star there, instead there's a quad. And they do their 5-pointed star on the actual leg itself. So I think it's more like this vertice that does the 5-point star. They do have a triangle though, which I do have up there. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like my foot is also a little skinny if I turn this back on. Yeah, my foot's a little wonky. Let's see if we can do some work on that. Okay. So this model, you'll notice that it's angled up, which I don't entirely like. So I like to normally have it just be on the ground. So I will work on that. Actually, you know what? Let's do that now. Let me grab my mirror. And actually, you know what? I'm going to grab these guys as well. Grab all of them. Actually, before I do that, let me get into here. We'll do cursor is selected. We're going to change the bounding origin to a 3D cursor, and then I am going to add the rest of this. I'm going to rotate, and now we're just going to put him flat down. Do I also not have the mirror modifier working currently? I do, but why don't I see... Oh, there it is. Okay. Not bad. Alright, not bad. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. That is what I meant to do. Let's go this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, turn on X-ray mode. I'm going to grab all these vertices on the bottom of the foot, and I'm going to do scale Z0. Whoa. Oh, you know what? Let me turn off. It's got to be individual origins. Scale Z0. There we go. It was doing it where the 3D cursor was before. And you'll notice that the Z is a little bit underneath 0, so we're just going to pop that right there at Z. Z equals 0, excuse me. Okay. So, I'm actually going to turn my volume down, because I feel like my ambient music is actually a little loud at the moment. And we're going to see if we can try and fix the shape of this foot. So I'm going to turn this off. Right now, this guy is, I feel like a little too high, actually, if I'm being honest. So we're going to grab Z. This guy's a little low. Z. Right, you kind of want like a little bit of a natural. Let me just see if I can rotate. And then GX. Let me see if I can move these guys around a little bit. GX. Whoa, not that much. Do scale Z0. That looks a little bit better. I'm gonna move this guy up a little bit. Again, keeping that nice kind of like straight line there. And one of the things that you can also do is to give it a little bit more shape is you can actually give it a loop cut this way, right? And then we can kind of like, we can scale this out a little bit, scale X. So now it looks a little bit more rounded, which is great. And then we can take this, 3, Y. Now we have a little bit more of like a nice looking foot sort of action there. The one thing that I think I mentioned before is I think that our foot looks a little thin. So if I'm basing it off of this model here, I should probably have it be a little bit wider. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to grab this guy. Let me see if I can... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, again, grab all these guys. I'm going to grab all these verts. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab this round of verts. Cursor selected. Again, we're going to set the pivot point to the 3D cursor. And what I'm going to do, hopefully, is... I should probably use the lasso select. So I only kind of want these guys. And what I'm going to try to do is rotate Z. And we're going to rotate it out a little bit. I feel like that actually doesn't look too shabby. Kind of have like that nice sort of curve to the foot there. I will say that I think these guys could actually probably be brought in. I'm going to bring back my select box. I'm going to go back to individual origins, and then I'm going to GX that in a little bit. But that actually doesn't look too shabby in my mind. I think that looks pretty good. I do feel like the ankle, especially this way, looks... Actually, turn my model off real quick. I think it looks a little, I don't know if it just looks like a little flat to me. Or not flat, excuse me, fat. In comparison to the side. The side I feel like looks kind of tonky. And then if you look at the front, it looks a little bit more narrow. So I might actually see about, let me actually grab this. Okay, go 3, and I might just scale it ever so slightly on the way. Oh, and that's my wife texting me. What's she saying? She's saying, oh, nice. All right. Maybe a little bit less. Again, I don't want to go too hard on it, because I actually feel like that looks kind of good. All right. Oh, you know what? I should also see if I can. Let me see if I can do a go live notification. Say doing some 3D modeling in Blender. Say done. Do I actually have? I don't actually have a tag. Let me do Blender 3D. Oh, I can only add up to 10 tags at a time. Let's get rid of roleplay. Let's get rid of fantasy. I think they know there's going to be development. Let's take that one. Yes, we'll do Blender 3D. I feel like that's probably a little bit more of an appropriate thing for our tags right now. Cool. So I'm gonna try to do the same sort of loop cut that they have here. So I'm gonna add a loop cut, but what I'm actually going to do is I am going to join these guys. Right, so we join. Basically what I'm just doing there is I'm just hitting the J key, and what that does, oops, we don't want to join to those. What it does is it's basically adding a new edge between those guys. I'm going to do the same thing here. Sorry, this way. Join. Join. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take these vertices and we're going to dissolve this edge. I think that's kind of what they... Oh no, I'm wrong. I was completely wrong. Actually, let me move forward. How do I redo? Redo. Because I didn't even notice. This guy actually does seem to have a line there. But it's the... Oh boy. Alright, let me get rid of these guys. I did this wrong. Dissolve edges. Dissolve edges, okay. 3. Let me turn on X-ray mode here. So they actually do it on, I think it goes like this. Oops. Join. Join. Oops. Again, I think it also starts from the kneecap, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So we actually want from here to here, join. From here to here, join. And then we don't have the loop cut in the back. I actually probably could have just... I didn't actually need to probably do the loop cut all the way around, but that's okay. Join. Join. And now, this edge loop we can get rid of. Dissolve edges. There we go. Oops. Let me actually grab you. Dissolve vertice. Now why are you doing that? I do still want this to exist. Same deal here. What if I just dissolve this edge? It's probably what I need to do. Dissolve edges. There we go. Okay, and then you can also kind of like round out the kneecap a little bit more. So if I grab this, come to the side, and I say GY a little bit, now you have a little bit more of like a kneecap going on there. And we can push this back a little bit. GY. See who's texting. I feel like the knee actually should probably be rotated a little bit. So should this. Not terrible. Okay. One of the things I want to try to see if I can do. Let me see if I can. Oh boy, I gotta update this meta rig. Let me do. Go. Ooh, come on, go one. Let me grab X over a little bit. That looks pretty good. Where's the rest of it? Is it all inside there still? I guess so, yeah. I feel like the arms are a little small too, but that's okay. Okay. Let me go to 3, GY. Move it back a little bit. Okay, now what we're gonna do is, if I select all, armature, symmetrize. Now, when it symmetrizes, oh, actually it did it the right way this time. Nice. The bones aren't entirely where they could be. Let me see if I can move that back just ever so slightly. GY. Just a little bit more. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Let me turn on. Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, no, I did do it right. I just have. Did I turn off my. That's weird. Why am I not seeing my model? There we go. Okay. Let me just move this guy back ever so slightly, and then I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move these guys. X over a little bit. 3. Y. Ever so slightly. I'm just trying to get that bone inside of there. Okay, so now if I do all. Actually, I think if I just do symmetrize, it'll do it automatically. Okay. Let me turn off mirror. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I forget exactly how the heck to go about doing this because it's been a bit. I think it's you. I think you press the, or you select the model first, and then the model first, then the bones, and then Control Join. Okay, that's not it. Set parent 2. Armature deform with automatic weights. Control P. Okay, so now if I go to Rigify and I generate a rig, basically what I'm going to try to do is, oh goodness, rig tab. I don't know what is going on with the view here. That is something. Let me hide meta rig. So basically what you're supposed to do is if you select the meta rig, you're supposed to be able to like move those supposed to be able to move the interface the way that it looks here. I don't know why I'm getting that. That's weird, but whatever. I wonder if this is the IK. Lord, what is going? I don't know what is going on here. Oh, that doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, perfect. You know what? I might have done that incorrectly. Let me get rid of the parent. So I'm gonna go back to before we generated the rig. I think they're unpaired now, I believe. So let me generate rig. Let me take that and this. Control P. Nope. Let me try model first, then the rigify rig. Control P. With automatic weights. Tab. Why is it changing that? That's so weird. I also make sure. Oh, you know what else too? Let me just get out of here. Control Z. Let me do Control A. Apply all transforms. Apply all transforms. Okay, let's try this one more time. Meta rig, generate rig. I'm gonna hide the meta rig. Although I might just honestly end up using that instead of this rig. Control P, automatic armature deform. Automatic weights. Yeah, it's still doing that. Jeez, okay. We're gonna not generate the rig. Although I'm kind of sad that that's how it's working right now, but oops. And then Control P, automatic weights. Okay, let's see if I can do it this way. G? Nope. Can I do pose mode? Whoa, what is going on there? Mirror mode. This is what I want to see. Oops, Control C. 3. Rotate X. Wrong way. Wrong way. Let me turn off mirror mode. I feel like that looks pretty good. Oops, not caps lock. Let me turn mirror mode back on. Grab these guys. Woo. Not the best, but it's not the worst either. I think I can take that. Okay. Alright, looking good. How long have I been going for? 37 minutes? Alright. I'm actually going to just unpair the nice object mode. Awesome. I'm gonna unpair the two of these guys. Oh, I forgot. It's boy, how do you clear a parent? Google to the rescue. How to clear parent from mature blender. Alt P. I think Alt P. Alt P. Clear parent. Hey, there we go. Okay. And now if I think if I tab, of course, if I tab into it, it's fine. Pose mode. If I select all, I forget if it's clear, skeleton. Reset pose. Reset pose. Blender. Alt R. R. There we go. Okay. Cool. I just wanted to check to see if the deformations of the model were doing what I wanted it to. Oh, okay. So that is good. I like how I basically just like fixed up the legs in this stream. And that's basically it. That's fine. We're getting there. I do want to get the arms to be a little bit longer. I feel like the guy has kind of short arms at the moment if we look at our reference. Oops. References. Like his hand goes much farther down. So I wouldn't mind that. I might also just honestly cut the head off at the moment and then redo the head so that I get the vertices that I want. But I feel like torso-wise, we're looking pretty good. I feel like the legs are looking a lot better now too. I think the only thing I might want to maybe update is the butt. I feel like he's kind of got a bit of flat butt going on here. Oops, wrong. Oh, I'm still in pose mode. Let me do object mode. And I think I might do that with a knife. Yeah, because I think they've got triangles here, so just do something like that. And just give him a little bit more of a badonkadonk. GY. I like how there's just this random guy kind of... Whoa, that's not what I'm supposed to do. GX. This guy's kind of just like hanging out. How do they do this? I feel like this on the reference model is like all the way in here, but I think for our cases this is fine. I feel like he's still got a bit of a flat butt. Let's see. Looks like no one is online, but that's okay. GY. I'm actually going to move you back in here. Maybe actually move you a little bit more in there. All right. You know what? I'm going to hit save for right now. We're going to pause it. I have to use the restroom anyways. And it doesn't look like anybody's on, so we are going to call it there. But thank you. If you guys find this VOD online, appreciate it. Feel free to give me a subscribe if you want, but I hate that I have to say that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the recording, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.